The war in Ukraine is entering its third year. How much aid was promised and provided to Kyiv? What are the civilian and military casualties? Here's what we know and don't know so far.
17–18% of Ukraine is currently occupied by Russia. Now, around 7% of that was already occupied prior to 2022. It's important to recall that this war actually began in 2014 with the occupation of Crimea and the Russian intervention in East Ukraine, the Donbass region.
On the 24th of February 2022, Vladimir Putin launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine. In June 2023, Ukraine counterattacked, but its efforts have stalled.
The offensive fell short of the goals that were set at the beginning of the offensive. So the aim, of course, was that there would be a number of substantial breakthroughs, that the significant amount of territory would be taken from the Russians, and that really didn't happen despite quite a considerable effort by the Ukrainians and also some support from its allies.
In early February 2024, EU member states agreed on a new €50 billion aid package for Ukraine. So, the European Union is the #1 provider of aid to Ukraine, with humanitarian and military assistance being delivered in phases. The US is in second place.
EU member states and institutions have, as of January 15th, pledged 144 billion in total commitments. However, we only find that about 77 billion of these have actually been allocated to specific packages.
On both sides, civilian and military casualties are well-guarded state secrets. Between 170,000 and 190,000 Ukrainian soldiers have been reportedly killed or wounded since the beginning of the Russian invasion, said the New York Times. Russian casualties are estimated to be higher, with nearly 300,000 soldiers thought to have been killed or wounded in the same period. But what about Ukrainian civilians?
At the moment, the number of refugees globally from Ukraine is 6.4 million, and the vast majority of those are in Europe. And I think it's also important to mention that inside Ukraine, there's also 3.7 million people who remain internally displaced. So in total, there's more than 10 million people who've been forced to flee their homes.
The countries hosting the most displaced Ukrainians are Germany, Poland and the Czech Republic.